Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. One of the most important lectures we're going to study today, that is called matching information. It's very important because matching information type of questions are very common in your section 2 of your IELTS listening and section 3 of your IELTS listening test. You may have in section 2 as well as in section 3. Okay. So what are matching information type of questions? Matching information type of questions, you will have two parts in a question. There will be two parts. First of all, you will have a list of clear options you will be given. You make statements with opinions or piece of information, a list of options, clear as I said. List of options will be provided to you and number of questions. So there are two parts. Let me show you practically, then you will understand. Wait, let me show you. Okay. Now let's take example. These are some practical examples, clear? We call these type of questions matching information. Why do we call it matching information? Because there are two parts in the question. The first one, can you see these are the options? And then you will have some questions. So we want to match, Claire, we want to match with each item. I can say this is an item, pillows, with the locations. So questions are in order. These questions are in order. First of all, you will hear pillows, then there would be washing powder, key, light bulbs, and the last one you will have map. But these options, the options you will have, they are not in proper order. For example, for pillows, he may talk about this one first. There's the F, option number F. So options are not in order, but questions are in order. So all these questions are in proper order. Usually, options are more. These are options. These options are more than the questions. Questions are less, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Options are 7 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 questions. So 2 options are extra. So some of the options are not used. So you may have 2 different types of questions. Sometimes options are more, questions are less. And sometimes options are less, questions are more. Like for example, let me give you an example. Look, like if you take example for this one. So what do we have? These are options, so options are more. And then we have list of people, questions, they are less. But now let's take example for this one. We've got, these are options. So we have got 3 options only, but the questions are more. Questions are more than the options. So if questions are more than options, then we may talk about that one of the options, clear, for example, A, B, C, they can be used twice, more than once. Any of the options like A, B, C, for example, for 27, you use A. Then again, for 29, again, you use A. So for one question, you may use 2 options as well. But when options are more than questions, then we can use it only once. We can't use it twice. So you need to understand, Claire, about all the questions, that how many parts are there and how to explain. Let's take example for this. Uh, Question, this is your statement, and the statement usually, Claire, you will have 2 parts of the statement, like what is currently main area of work. This is the statement. And it starts with WH, what, why, where, when, how, clear? WH questions. And this is first part, and then people. So there are two parts. The statement, it talks about two parts, and the same way, the if you come down, Claire, so you will find both options. Options are about area of work, and then when it comes about people, the second part, Claire, these are your questions. So this is your instruction, as I said, Claire, and what the instruction earlier I told you that it may start with WH type of question. There can be which, what, where, when, why, Claire, how, etc. And this is your instruction. So choose five answers, like from them. These are five questions. So if the questions are five, so we need to select only five options. From the box, write the correct letter A to H next to questions 14 to 18. So this is from question 14 to 18. You can select any of the letter and then you keep writing over here. And this is list of options. This is the list of options. Option will always be marked, Claire, by alphabets. Can you see? Options are always marked with what? With alphabets, A, B, C. While the questions are, Claire, listed. Claire, they are listed with what? Questions are listed with numbers. So, questions are usually in order, Claire. Answers appear in same order. Answers appear means, first of all, you will hear question number one, then question number two, three, and four, and so on. Claire, you have to write only alphabets of the correct answers, but these options are not in order. Okay, before coming towards it, we want to talk about, we will study few of the strategies, then we will come towards practical work. Okay. Why students lose marks, Claire, in matching information type of questions? And as I told you, matching information type of questions are the most important type of questions in IELTS listening test. And you will have, Claire, in both. You will have both, Claire, section 2 as well as in section 3, both sections. So common mistakes, Claire, and how we can are predictable and how we can prevent them. So listen, number one, option number one, why students they fail, why students they get less band. Number one, listen for exact words. Like the option, if the entire listening, Claire, if you just only listen for the exact word, you will never hear. For example, there was any of the question like they had written building. They have written building. So do you think like they will use exactly the word building? Never ever. Instead of building, they can use any synonym or they can paraphrase it. They can use like construction. Instead of building, they can say construction. So never use, Claire, never listen for what? Never listen for the exact word, but instead, what you are supposed to do? Paraphrase that. Paraphrasing is the most important part here. Number one. Number two, students, when they start the test, they don't read options before the audio begins. You are provided with alphabets, A, B, C, all these options. So try to underline keywords. Try to underline keywords. Try to predict clear synonyms for that or any clear anything you can predict that what you can hear there. So this is, and then following one keyword. Okay, another point, important point is do not only underline a single keyword because the statement, there will be two or three or four words. So what you are supposed to do following one keyword only? What if you just only follow a single keyword? So following a single keyword, if you follow that, a single keyword, so you won't, Claire, achieve high band. Why? Because you have followed only one word and you ignore the full meaning. So what is more important? Try to understand full meaning for the statement, full meaning for that of the phrase. And option number four, getting trapped after by changing of clear mind. What if the examiner he changes his mind? This is the most important part where students they make mistake. If you remember yesterday, I have given you some of the some of the words that can quite easily trap you. For example, we studied there uh, that if there is a word but, so be careful. We studied actually, we studied I thought, we studied I used to, we studied Claire, however, so we
Okay.
studied it first. So all these words are what? They are your trapping words. So make sure you're not trapped by these words. Because these words, Claire, if they use but So now, but examiner, the speaker, he wants to change his mind. And this is the part, Claire, where most of the students, they are stuck and they don't understand. So once you come to know, you master the strategy that yes, when the speaker changes mind, when the speaker changes mind. So if the speaker changes mind, what happens? And you can quite easily recognize that yes, I caught the speaker. He's going to change the mind. So I'm sure you can quite easily find out your answer. But if you don't realize when the speaker changes mind, for example, let me talk about, I wanted to be a doctor. Look, I wanted to be a doctor. So, and you're given option of option A, doctor. And what if you don't follow, you don't complete, you don't let the speaker complete the idea and half of the information if you have just heard. So I'm sure option number A is doctor, and you will just straight away you mark about a doctor. What after this? I wanted to be a doctor, but look, can you see but? So now if I use but, so what does it mean? Speaker is going to change his mind now. So the doctor cannot be the right answer. After but, whatever word I hear, that would be the right answer then. So make sure you understand when the speaker, he changes the mindset. Okay, then missing that, the options come in different order. Options are in different order, only questions are in order. In changing clear a correct answer because of panic. Sometimes students, they lose confidence. Clear, do not rush and do not be panic. So make sure sometimes clear you lose your confidence level and you can even mark incorrect word clear. In fact, you can mark the correct one. All right. So golden rule for listening clear for meaning, not exact words. So how we understand that when the examiner he says uh, words, and I may understand it that the techniques that examiner can use. First of all, recording almost never repeats the same statement exactly, Claire. It usually changes the wording. So in wording, they can change two things. Number one, different different words plus structures. Two things. Paraphrasing is about using synonyms as well changing structures. So examiner, they, Claire, they never repeat exact words. But in fact, what they want to do, Claire, usually changes wording. Wording means they can use what? Synonyms. Like for example, the question words talks about like this. Question word talks about entrusted in, but the audio never says entrusted. What if a student who waits that, okay, the speaker would repeat exactly the same word like entrusted in? So you are just wasting your time. But in fact, the speaker would say, the audio says what? Finds it fascinating. Finds it fascinating and like and entrusted in. Both gives you exactly the same meaning. Now, concern about, the question talks about concern about, but the audio says what? Worried about. The question says prefers, but the audio Claire would rather choose. The question Claire they have written disagrees, but the audio says doesn't think that is right. For example, the question it talks about too expensive and it say cost more than expected. So, what message do you get over here? That always remember that IELTS never repeat, Claire. IELTS never repeats the exact word, but they are going to use what? Synonyms. And if you master this strategy, Claire, so I'm sure you can quite easily achieve full marks in your exam. Okay. So, uh, keywords versus paraphrases. So make sure you understand how. You need to train your ear to hear ideas in different words. First of all, when you practice IELTS listening, train your ears. How you can train your ear? Number one, if you just focus, that's helpful. What comes in your mind? that this is positive now. It's
We
positive.
can see.
Yes. Oh, this is the clue. The clue is positive, helpful. So they can use like audio beneficial, they can say very useful. If you train your ear like this, the word is positive, but you can hear synonym for that. What if the word you want to take too difficult? Now, it's what? Negative. So you need to train your eyes, train your mind, train your ear that the word, first of all, it's negative. And now, what I'm going to hear, you can hear hard to keep up. They can say challenging. If they say
We can't
improve,
see the screen.
sorry,
We can't see the screen.
you can't see the screen.
Yeah.
Everyone? Everyone? Hello?
No,
Yeah.
screen is visible, bro. No, sir, screen is visible.
Sir, the screen is stuck on one slide.
Okay, let
Now
me
it's
change it.
okay.
Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it visible now?
Now
Yeah.
it's okay.
Okay, fine. That's good. Thank you. Uh, so, so the first word, as I said, it's positive. The second word is negative. And train your clear your ear that you're going to hear different paraphrases. Can you see? Now improve quickly. So improve quickly, clear what it talks about. It talks about the speed of improvement. And it's positive, not negative. So make fast progress. So improve quickly, you will hear audio clear, you can paraphrase, make fast progress. And not interested. So now it's what? It's negative. Not interested. And what you are going, what clear clue you get out of this. So if not interesting, lack of enthusiasm. So they may talk about doesn't appeal to me. Appeal to me, doesn't appeal to me. So this is negative. Again, this is negative. Better organized. Better organized. So it talks about the quality of what? Planning. And it gives you, they may use clear possible audio paraphrase. They can say structured more clearly. For example, cheap option. Can you see cheap option here? So it refers to what? It refers to price. So make sure that you get all the clues. Options provided to you, clear options available on your screen. So make sure you get the clues. What are the clues? Either it talk about the lack of enthusiasm, it talks about quality of planning, it talks about price, it talks about clear what opinion, what it talks about. Like for example, the most affordable choice. Cheap option, the most affordable choice. Uh, as I told you, the most important thing before you practice your listening test, what is that? Train your ear to hear ideas in different words. If you train your ear, Claire, to hear ideas in different words, it's really gonna help you out to achieve 9 out of 9 band. But uh, you can't do Claire by your own because they're going to use different words then. This is what like another slide, and these are some of the distractors. Some of the distractors that entrap signals examiner can use. First of all, at first, initially. So if you hear a word at first or initially, the speaker changes direction later on. Straight away, when you hear, so words after this, they use, that cannot be, because later on he will give you the answer. So the first one, first or initially, you are going to be trapped. So these are not the word, clear? These are not the words. These are not the words, clear? You're going to hear. Please keep your mobile. Okay. Then after that, I thought and but. So correct answer usually comes after but, not before but. Although or however, contrast is coming. Listen carefully. Not exactly or not really. The previous idea is being rejected. Used to or previously. Past opinion may be wrong. So later on, you will get the idea. One problem was or although. The full opinion is mixed. Wait for the final position. So never decide too early. IELTS often gives clear, tempting clue first, then corrects it. And usually students are trapped by distractors. So make sure you're not trapped, because I told you how to keep yourself safe. For example, these are some of the options. Suppose 1, 2, 3. There are 3 names. Suppose Maria, Tom, and Lena. And then we have got some of the statements. Thought the workshop was useful but too fast. The workshop was useful but too fast. Enjoyed. So it talks about what? The speed, and it talks about productivity of that workshop. Next part, enjoyed, group discussion, most. Felt examples were too basic. And you hear the speaker. This is how the audios are played. Maria, I learned a lot, but I could hardly take notes because the teacher moved so quickly. So what do you think like? Next, Tom, the discussion were the best part for me. Honestly, the examples were a bit too simple. So what do you think like, if you just compare,
Maria.
yeah. So for Maria, the option that can be what? That can be
Number
A.
1.
Yeah, number 1.
Number 1.
Exactly. Thought the workshop was useful but too fast. But can you see, argue, Claire? Argue use different words. I learned a lot. But. So when he said but, I could hardly take notes. Why? Reason was what? Because the teacher moved so quickly. So now we understand, Claire. So for Maria, number 1 can be the right answer. But the second one, Tom, the discussion were the best part for me. Best part for me for what? Discussion. So she enjoyed discussion the most. If you just compare, Claire, both language gives you exactly the same meaning, right? But words are different. And what if I say, honestly, examples were a bit too simple. So I felt the example were too basic. This is how like the language you need to match. You will never find out exact words. They're going to change the vocabulary and the structures. Okay, for example, James, and then we have Priya. There are 2 names. So the first name, that's about James, and then Priya, it's all about academic writing, presentation skills, and time management. 3 options. There are 3 options, and we need to find out for James, the correct option for James, and then Priya. For example, James, I first considered the writing session. Look, can you see first? And I told you, if you hear any first word, so it's a trap. It's a trap. It first. Considered the writing session. So now what if you just hear only writing session here? Most of the time students, they only hear a single word without understanding complete audio. And they just mark, okay, writing session. All right, that's about academic writing. And they just mark what? James A. And you are trapped. You are quite easily trapped. But then he said what? But. So the previous idea is what? It's rejected. Speaking confidently in front of people is what I really need. So what can be the right answer? Speaking in front of people is what I really need. That's about presentation. In fact, A is wrong, B is the right answer. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Then it's about Priya. So I'm already organized with my schedule. So now, did she say about my schedule? So now what if someone just straight away go with the time management? Clear? Time management. Then what if you don't follow the speaker fully? Because I told you for the last 2-3 days, I kept telling you that, okay, always wait for the final words. Final words when? These are your final words. These are your final words. And what students they do, they decide their answers based on the initial. And they say, she said, already organized with my schedule. So she doesn't need any help with the time management because schedule is related with the time management. But she wants what? I want stronger essay structure. So stronger essay structure is related to what? Academic.
Academic writing.
Yes, A goes for this. Do you all understand now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, so let's take some of the examples now. Okay, weak habit and then common mistakes to avoid. Weak habit versus better habit. Number 1, choosing the first familiar word to hear. And like the way I give you examples, Claire, what wins, final words win. And what if you just only familiar words, you first hear them and you mark that correct? That's you wait for what? Complete meaning. Am I right? Because as you heard, Claire, right now we practice. So final words what? Final words win. Ignoring instruction. Do not ignore instructions. If there are some of the instructions, so do not ignore them. Okay, let me clear it. Check whether options repeat or not. Writing too much while listening? No. Use symbols. Do not write, just listen. Panicking after one missed answer? Move on and recover the next answer. Changing answers without evidence? Change only when the final meaning is clear. Okay, let's take some of the examples and we will perform practically. Okay. Am I visible?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Let me have a clear options. Okay, let's perform this one. Listen to me now, okay? First of all, examiner do not think that they will only use, the examiner or the speaker will use only synonyms. They can even use contextual meaning. They can use contextual meaning. Anything related to, like for example, let's take example for this. The first person, what they have mentioned, it's about salmon. And then they have written, I've already told you nothing, do not ignore anything that is in bracket. It means the person won't name Claire because anyone who speaks, he is the speaker. He is the speaker and his name is Saman. And Liz and Sarah and then Duncan and Judith. Okay. So then we have advertising. So what comes in your mind first of all? Advertising is related to what? Advertising is related to any idea. If the speaker he says clear anything, there would be a short talk. Hello, follow a short talk. Short talk. You understand the actual meaning. What can be the right option? Clear. Always keep in your mind if you follow a short talk. Your answer is in a short talk. आप लोगों ने एक शॉर्ट टॉक को फॉलो करने उसके बाद आपने ये डिसाइड करने कि कौन सा ऑप्शन आना है सिर्फ एक वर्ड की बुनियाद पे आपने अपने जवाब को सेलेक्ट नहीं करना कंप्लीट शॉर्ट टॉक को आपने हियर करना है द सेकंड वन इज एनिमल केयर for example care mean look after what if they say for example animal clear cow or anything looking after for example looking after cows. So now cows what? It's related to animal. Look, care is this. Building is related to what? Construction type of thing. Education length is more related to education. Engine maintenance is more related to what? Mechanical type of things. Food and drink is related to what? Instead of food, if they say like, for example, rice, or if they say water, drink means water. Sell is related to what? Selling and buying. Staffing is related to what? Employees. Am I right? So these options are not in order, okay? So I'm going to play the recording and we will perform together, all right?
People are near to retirement age. 14 to 20.
Okay.
All these visitors, we have had to expand our operation, and it's now a truly family concern. I'm near to retirement age, so...
Okay, he said, I'm near to retirement age. So the person is near to retirement age. So he talks about himself. So if he is near to retirement age, what he actually want to do. What is his area of work? These are names. So let's see what's his area of work.
myself with looking after the mechanical side of things.
Okay, he said that I'm looking clear. He has concerned himself looking after mechanical type of things. So what do you think? What do you think? Like mechanical type of things, is that he is related to the field of advertising, animal care, building? What can be the right answer for that? Mechanical type of thing is related to what?
Sir,
Sorry?
Engine maintenance.
Excellent. Engine maintenance. So what we can write here? We can write in front of it E. Next.
E.
Keeping the trains going. Liz now devotes.
Okay, he said Liz. Look, if you heard Liz, do not focus the questions. Just only focus what? Options. So now Liz. They want to talk about Liz. So what is his area of work now?
Which is to recruiting and supporting a large squadron of workers to keep the place running smoothly.
Okay, so now what he talked about, the short talk was about what? It was more about workers. Clear? So what do you think, like if the talk is about workers, so what can be the right answer? Advertising, animal, staffing, what can be the right
Staffing.
answer? Staffing is related to workers. Excellent. So I can write what? H.
Some years away teaching, Sarah has now returned.
Okay, you heard Sarah now. She has returned now.
Make sure the visitors are kept fed and watered, which keeps.
Okay, so now she makes what? That the visitors are kept, fed and water. So what is about feeding and water?
Food and drink.
That's in food and drink, fed and water. Clear? So food and drink. So we can write F can be the right one.
Son Duncan has been a stalwart at the park for the last 10 years, taking over from me in the area of construction.
Okay, he talked about the area of construction. So construction is related to what?
Building.
That's
Building.
building. Excellent.
I'll say a little bit more about that in a moment. And his new wife, Judith, has also joined the team in charge of retail. That's becoming a tremendous growth area for us. A lot of people want to buy souvenirs. So have you?
Okay, so now that's about retail. Retail, and there a lot number of people they
Sales.
want to buy souvenirs.
Sales.
So what can be that?
Sales.
That's sale or
Sales.
advertising?
Sales.
Retail is more about what? That's about sales, not advertising. So we can write G here.
G.
Yeah, is this clear now?
Yes,
sir.
This is how you need to perform. Like always look for what? Look for the exact idea, match ideas, not only words. Because matching words won't help you to find out the correct answer. When you start matching exact, clear idea, so idea can save you. Matching words can never save you. And you heard that questions are in order. All questions are in order, but options are not in order.
Okay, sir.
Any question for me now?
No, sir.
No
Clear.
question?